Hello, Summits. So here we want to draft a moderate Danshiki for our clients. I don't have many videos on this, but I still have to, remake some of them so that you can understand and learn. So here the folding measurements for this one, we are going to use 3 inches or 4 inches, anyone. So let's use 4 inches for the baseline. So this is for the folding allowance. Then you draft, here you mark. Now, the length of the top we have is a top length of 32. But because of the nature of Danshiki we want to use, we are going to make it to be 35. It's a bit long than the regular top length of this client. So you mark 35 inches right there, or let's use the fullness of that, 37.5. Let's use the whole of this fabric to draft it, right? Fine. So now the next you will do, now for some of us who might see me for the very first time, my name is Mr. Redefined. So if you are new to my channel, on this channel we focus on making videos, tutorials on male fashion designing, and we make the videos to be self-explanatory and make sure that we help you understand some hidden facts or hidden points on male fashion designing. So do well to like this video, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified when I make or post new videos just like this. Now, the next you are going to do is to know how to fold the fabric that will give you a moderate and perfect Danshiki. What you need to do is to divide your shoulder of your customer, divide by 2. So the shoulder we have is a shoulder of 17. By 2 is 8.5. Now, the sleeve length, where you want the Danshiki to reach or to get to, is 14 inches, a bit higher than the normal 3/4 sleeve, then plus extra 2 inches for the sleeve folding, right? So in total, we have a folding of 24.5 or even 25, let's say 25 for this particular client's size. Now, the next you are going to do is to come on the edge of the fabric here, mark 7 inches down. Now, this 7 inches down you are marking is for the shoulder slope or slant. Now, for children, you can mark 3, 4, or 5, depends on the age and the size of the child. Then for female, you can use 5 inches for the slant because female do also wear Danshiki. So here can be 5 inches for the shoulder slanting or slope. Please note importantly that the reason or the why you should mark or slant by 7 for the male adult is to enable the outfit to lap properly without having folds or squeeze or tension within the armhole region. I believe you must have seen some Danshikis that do have that squeeze, and you and I know it's not good. So for you that is concerned, this is the solution to that particular outfit having those issues. After this, the next you're going to do here is your neck calculation. So the neck we have is a neck of 16.5. So if you divide by 6 from the formula which I gave us previously on my channel, I told us that your neck measurement has a formula which states n over 6 minus 0.3. Anyway, you see n, substitute the value of your neck inside the n and then work it out. So here we have 16.5 over 6 will give us 2.683 or thereabout. So if you minus 0.3 from it, it will give you 2.333 thereabout. So I will use for this particular fit, I will mark at 2 1/4. That's right. I'll mark at this point because the neck is 16.5. So add half to this, it's going to give us 2.8, right? So in neck calculations, you need to be very exact and careful so that you don't overcut or cut the neckline to be way wider or bigger than what you have. It's even better that the neck is being cut in a smaller version. So before you finish sewing, you cannot trim the necklines and make sure you remeasure to give you a perfect connection or perfect neck circumference. So after you have marked your neckline in this form, then connect the 7 inches slope you have here to this very point. Now it goes all the way to these very points. Now, for some persons as well, you might still, I will need to explain more on this shoulder slope or slanting. And the reason, because I know the 7 inches I did here might be a bit confusing for first timers or newbies, but if you watch the video to the very end, you understand why you should do it by 7. So the simplest way or the simplest explanation to that is that your Shoulder measurement is 17 inches, which is 8.5 by 2, right? So you mark your shoulder like 17, assuming that you are doing a normal center outfit, you mark 17 plus half inch, which you use in joining the sleeve. Assuming you're marking the center outfit, you want half inch. So you mark here. So that point, your shoulder and half inch ended is where you are meant to slant by 2.5. So the slanting is augmenting the 7 inches here because it's just like a continuation of the 2.5 that goes all the way down to the sleeve point. So by so doing, the sleeve joining will give you a perfect smooth. Imagine this slanting did not drop to this point and you have done it somewhere 3 inches here. There will be some more tension on the armhole region. The more it slants, the more the outfit is relaxing without any squeeze or fold. But 7 inches is the recommended and perfect size for that slant. So having said that, now the next you're gonna do here is to do your armhole opening. Your armhole opening is how wide you want the armhole to be. So this customer is a slim person. I will do 12 because I will close at 11. 1 inch closure, then 12 is 1 inch will be left inside. So on that 12-inch mark, you will now come in by a certain value or inch. So I'm using 3 inches for him because he might not want his to be so wide or free. So invariably, you will connect, you make a cross mark here, showing the coming inside and your armhole point, just like this. So it goes all the way to this very point. So having done this, then connect the tip of the sleeve here to this very point, right? Now, I believe you also understood how this folding ended. Let me take it again in case you don't understand. I said that the shoulder, that the person's shoulder is 17, sorry, 8.5, then plus extra 14 inches for where I want the sleeve to reach, then extra 2 inches for the folding, which ended at this very point. That's how I got my folding. So having done that, then here you come in again by 3 inches to 4 inches. The seat depends on how fitted you want the side to be. So for this man, I will do it 5 inches because he's a slim type. He has a chest of 42, which will be better if the body of the outfit is not too tight on him and the hip is 43. So as you can see, he will not need too much wide or big danshiki. So here, you make sure you measure the value of what you have from this point, which is 16.15, 16.25, transfer it to the baseline so that you will have a straight line connection from this very point to this very point. You connect all the way down, connect all the way down to this very point. And then after you have done this, now you can now take your hip curve or any curve you have, place in a way that it synchronizes perfectly well from the armhole region. It goes all the way from here. Carefully connect from here all the way, connect from here all the way, connect from here all the way, connect all the way to this very point. As you can see how easy and perfect this connection can be. You can use your freehand sketch as well to do your connection, right? Then you are going to now round up your neckline by making a curve on the neck edge, touching the neck width and the neck depth with your neckline curve. So you place it this way and then make your connection to go all the way to this very point. So this is for this, and then you are done with the front panel. So we are going to cut out this. Now this we have front embroidering designs on the outfit. Then we are going to cut out this, and then we're going to do the back drafting as well. So you cut out from the very neck depth, going all the way to this very point, and you make sure it connects from here, goes all the way from here, goes all the way from here. So this is one of the simplest, the most precise, the most efficient, and the most self-explanatory method you can use to cut your danshiki out here on the internet. So do well to give me a like, share this video, subscribe, Drop your comments to tell me how impactful this video might have been to you. So the front panel is done. So let's cut the back now. All right. So now when you have finished cutting the front panel, so you also fold another material, but then this time around it will be a bit bigger than the front panel, like 2 inches bigger. I will show you. I'll tell you the reason. But you make sure you also iron. I've always been saying this in my previous videos that ironing helps to remove any possible rumples, any possible squeeze or folds that will be on your fabric. It's not allowed or advisable to cut your outfits with rumples, because rumples might, reduce your measurements. And when you cut after ironing, the measurements will increase. It is particular, or rather, I am particular about the neckline, because if the fabric was rumpled and you cut some areas like the neck that does not need the rumple to be there, when you iron it, the neckline will become bigger. Or rather, if your fabric as well is going to be expanding or stretchy after ironing, when you now remove when you now iron the fabric, by after cutting, it will now become big as well. So you make sure you have all these things in line. Like, you make sure you consider these things are just stated now. It helps you to have your outfits perfectly drafted. Then after you have done that, the next you will do is to place this in this form and make sure you have it perfectly balanced, like balanced on these bodies or bodies. Make sure it's perfectly balanced, just like this. And then you still iron again. The ironing is still to make sure that the front panel and the back panel are in conformity. They must be in agreement or alignment. So this is it. So now let's start the extra drafting processes. Now, because of the fact that this back outfit does not need facing or does not require facing, right? Now, there is one thing you must know or you should do to enable your cutting to come out in a very perfect shape. So at the shoulder region, I will raise this part by 3 inches. Now, the reason is because I join with almost half an inch, so that after the half an inch I'm joining, my shoulder will still retain or remain at the normal, what's it called? The normal slanting or high raising effect of 2.5. So I use 3 inches to raise. You can still use 2.5, but I prefer 3, so that by the time I join, I won't shorten the normal inch, which the back panel should be higher than the front. So here, the slanting of this is 3/4 inch backwards from the straight line of the neck width. Did you get? This is the neck width now for the front panel. So from here, you measure 3/4 inch inwards. Then, after which, you come down here by 1.5 and mark here to be 3 inches as well. So this is what you are going to have. Then use your pattern master. From here, you connect all through this way. And then you're done. Oh, this is all you need to do. So if you observe, the major work you have is on the front panel and not even on the back panel. So you also cut. So here you carefully and gently cut it out. So it goes all the way to this very point. And here it goes as well all the way to this very point as well. So this is how you cut. So like I was saying, that the back folding, the back cutting should be wider. This is the point now I am trying to explain, because you need to cut a bit away from the front armhole point and then go in again, so that by the time you bend the front panel to come to the back, you the front back ladder to come to the front, you have a perfect matching, like it to correspond than being short. So these are the things you should also have in mind while cutting your outfit. While cutting your outfit. So this is how it goes. So right there, you have got the front panel and the back panel, but you're not done yet. Don't remove your fabric or don't fold yet. What you do is to fold the back to come to the front, just this way, and you make sure that there is a perfect match. The neckline here must correspond. The back should not be longer out the neck region as well. It should also be longer on the shoulder or armhole region. So you should now trim out the excesses. So this thing I'm trimming now is very important, because if you don't trim it out, when after joining, you notice that it will not relax. It will be dance or dangling. So this is the front and the back panel. So at the base, for the base area, the base might be 1 inch longer or can be equal depending on what you want. But I would recommend you make the baseline to be 1 inch longer, so that when you try to balance the neckline or the shoulder region for the front and back panel, the front will not and the back will not jump or shorten by 1 inch. So this is what I mean. By the time you join and drag, this one will now come down to this very point, and the neckline will correspond very well. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.